I'm not hearing the music in the air horn again.
Yeah, it's crazy. It works fine in the pre-show. So
Yeah, isn't it weird?
yeah, I don't understand that.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, hey, hey. It's Saturday morning. It's Metalheads Unite Day. We have our own holiday
Yes,
now.
it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a weekly holiday. Those are the best kind.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, you get to celebrate with us every Saturday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody's usually off work already, but
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't pay you guys. That's just how it is. So
that would be awesome.
It would be awesome if we could pay everybody. Of course, we don't charge anybody either. So, it's kind of a give and take.
Well, that's true. That's true. All we ask is in return is a subscription or a like or a share.
That's it. Yeah. It's all pretty painless.
We're simple guys.
It's pretty painless other than the fact that you actually have to listen to us talk. So other than that, it's pretty painless,
Well, they get the best of both worlds with us talking. So
that's true. They do. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
They get the Detroit accent and then the Tennessee accent in the same show. I mean, where else are you going to get that?
Yep, they do. North and South working together. How about that?
That's right, man. Imagine that. Who would have thought?
I know. I know.
We could get more.
See. We are the uniters. That's what it is.
That's right. Yes, we are the United States of Metalheads.
That's right. Yeah. I would vote for us for sure, but
yeah.
That's as political as I'll get, but
right. Or just reach out and say, "Hey, politics could learn a little something here. Just come on over and listen, and we'll show you how to do it." So.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
That's absolutely right.
Let's get this thing kicked into gear. In the middle of a yard sale myself, so spent the week cleaning out the garage. Of course, that's what I like to do on my days off.
Yeah, we
I like to clean out the garage.
Yeah, and we started burning a lot of the yard sale reject stuff last night. So.
Yeah, yes, we did. So it's going to take a while, but yeah,
that's okay. That's okay. It'll be a long fall, but that's okay. There'll be plenty of Friday night fires. So
then I got to look forward to Alice Cooper tomorrow night. Unfortunately, It may be 80% chance of rain, so it's a good chance I'm probably going to be wet. But oh well.
Yeah,
it's a show, and I'm going. So
yep. There you go.
All right, so we'll kick this thing off. Didn't have a lot of birthdays this week, so we can shoot through that real quick.
Yep.
We had September 27th. We had Brad Arnold, the vocalist for Three Doors Down. September 28th, we had Nick St. Nicholas, bassist for Steppenwolf. George Lynch, he's a decent guitarist, I think.
He knows how to play a lick or two, yeah.
Yeah, a lick or two, yeah. But he's better known for his work with Dokken, but also Lynch Mob. And yes, I will say Lynch Mob because that's what I know you as, and that's what I.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't give a shit who's offended. So.
Yeah, well, we're not a bunch of fucking snowflakes here at Metalheads Unite. So
yeah. Then we had Ginger Fish, a drummer for Marilyn Manson, and honestly, I was trying to. I never did even look that up. Is that a woman, or is that just a name? I never understand Marilyn Manson shit. So.
Oh, I have no. Yeah, there's no point in trying to figure that out.
I think he's still trying to figure out what he is.
Just make that hurt.
Then we had September 29th, Mike Panera, guitarist and singer for Iron Butterfly. Les Claypool, he's another alright bassist. Singer songwriter.
I don't know.
Primus.
I don't know. He may not. Yeah, he may not have much of a career. You know, he failed his audition for Metallica. So that's all I'm saying.
No. Yeah. Well, no, he didn't fail it. They said he was too good
No,
to
I
be in the
know.
band.
No, I know. I know he didn't
Yeah.
fail it. He's just being a smart ass. But
Yeah. Oh, I know you were.
yeah, he absolutely did not fail his audition. He did not.
That's how good. That's when you know you're probably the best bassist in the world. Is when Metallica says, "No, you're too good to be in our band."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like we always talk about that where you have like these certain people that are too good to be in what band they're in. I think Liz is probably one of those guys. We talk about what's his name, Wes Borland. We talk about him a lot.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know how I don't know why he sticks around with Limp Bizkit. I have no idea.
I have no idea. I don't know if you heard that new song, but it wasn't. It wasn't very. I don't want to say impressive, but it's impressive they've been around this long. But anyway, September 29th still going on here. Alexander Skolnick, a guitarist for Testament. And September 30th, we had Bill Riflin, a drummer for Nine Inch Nails. He unfortunately passed away last year in 2020. I don't remember if we covered that. Do you remember what happened with him?
I honestly don't remember.
I have to look that up.
I don't remember. We've covered a lot of deaths, unfortunately, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember all of them.
Yeah. October 1st, we had Michael Kubota, singer, songwriter, and guitarist for Brownsville Station. He died in 2000. If you don't know anything about Brownsville Station, they are the original singer-songwriters for Smoking in the Boys Room, which later we know as like Motley Crue hit. But and then we had October 2nd, which is today. We had James Root, guitarist and songwriter for Slipknot, and then we had I'm gonna kill this name and I apologize, but it's I'm gonna try. It's Robin Ibrin Kolalov, guitarist for Ginger. So,
well, it's a Ukrainian last name, so go figure.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but those were all the birthdays that I had. If I missed anybody, apologize. Happy birthday!
Yeah, we did. We did have one that that we shouted out yesterday in the Metalheads Unite Facebook page over in the group. My cousin Steve, who is a huge metalhead also, and who is also in the Metalheads Unite Facebook group. His birthday was yesterday, so we shouted him out on Facebook yesterday. So we'll shout him out here on the podcast to the rest of the world. So happy birthday to everybody and to my cousin Steve.
Yep. Happy birthday, cousin Steve.
Cousin Steve. He's in the Air Force right now.
Oh, is he? Well thank you for your service too there, Steve.
Yeah.
So,
he's doing a hell of a job too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been all over the damn place. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good on him, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So if anybody else out there in the listening had a birthday this past week, happy birthday to you as well. Hope you had a good one. And then I guess we're going to kick this thing right into the current events, because I know you're about as excited as I am to run through this and get to the 10 list. So.
There's no segment on this show that I look forward to skipping over, but yeah, I do enjoy the top 10 list segment. I very much do.
Well, especially when we have one like today. So
yeah, today's gonna be a good one, and I'm super duper looking forward to next week's. Yeah. All right, we're gonna lead this one off with some good news. That's always nice.
Yes.
Leading off at blabbermouth.net. Not necessarily a metal band in my opinion, but that's not, we're not going to debate that. We're not going to debate that right now. It's a good news story anyway. Blink-182 singer and bassist Mark Hoppus, who went public with his cancer diagnosis in June, has announced that he is cancer-free. 2 months ago, Hoppus confirmed that he was battling a blood disorder called Stage 4A diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, the same type of cancer his mother previously beat. Hoppus completed chemotherapy treatment earlier this month, and he took to his Instagram earlier today, Wednesday, September 29th, to write, quote, "Just saw my oncologist and I'm cancer-free. Thank you, God and universe and friends and family and everyone who sends support and kindness and love. Still have to get scanned every 6 months, and it'll take till the end of the year to get back to normal, but today is an amazing day and I feel so blessed," end quote. The musician broke the news of his diagnosis on June 23rd by posting a photo of himself in what appeared to be a doctor's office surrounded by medical equipment. He wrote in an accompanying caption, quote, "Yes, hello, one cancer treatment, please," end quote. He later said that he had been undergoing treatment for 3 months. Quote, "It sucks and I'm scared, and at the same time, I'm blessed with incredible doctors and family and friends to get me through this. I still have months of treatment ahead of me, but I'm trying to remain hopeful and positive. Can't wait to be cancer-free and see you all at a concert and hopefully the hopefully near future. Love to you all," end quote. In July, he said that his chemo was working. Quote, "I still have months of treatment ahead, but it's the best possible news. I'm so grateful and confused and also sick from the last week's chemo, but the poison the doctors pump into me and the kind of thoughts and wishes of people around me are destroying the cancer," end quote. The 49-year-old Hoppus is Blink-182's bassist, co-vocalist, and sole remaining founding member. Blink-182's latest album, 9, was released in September 2019 via Columbia Records and includes singles "I Really Wish I Hated You," "Dark Side," "Happy Days," "Generational Divide," and "Blame It on My Mouth." So there you go. It's a good news story to lead off the day. When someone has been cured of cancer, that's fantastic.
Exactly. And like I don't know about you, but I always enjoyed watching their videos. They were pretty hilarious, I think so.
Yeah, their videos were funny. It's just too bad.
Like you said, I don't care for the music either, but
I was just about to say,
but like I said, to me though, if I see you know something come up says, "Hey, Blink-182," I would watch it just because you know that it's going to be something pretty hilarious. So.
Yes, one thing you can say about Blink-182 is they never took themselves seriously, so you can appreciate that.
That's true.
A lot of self-deprecating humor in there. So yeah.
And then Attack on Boy Bands, that was also awesome.
Oh yeah, you always got to be a fan of that. Yeah. I'll definitely give them that one.
Yeah. And my first story is over from Blabbermouth. Kittens rock hard, and no rescue organization rocks harder than Kitten Rescue. In support of Kitten Rescue's life-saving mission, iconic Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash, one of rock's coolest cats, has donated an autographed top hat and guitar pack for the group's online auction to help the organization in its fundraising. As distinctive and iconic as the guitarist himself, the Slash autographed top hat, an astounding, unique piece of hard rock memorabilia, will complete any music fan's collection. Additionally, Slash has donated a Slash Appetite Les Paul Special 2 electric guitar performance pack. This is an incredible all-inclusive package for beginners and pros alike, designed to state your appetite for destruction. I like what they did there. The pack features a Slash design Les Paul Special 2 in classic Appetite amber finish with premium gig back, plus a 15-watt Slash snake pit amp with 2 channels, a full EQ section, and headphone output, custom Slash signature picks, and free online lessons from eMedia. I don't think a snake spit would be as fun, but
no.
Kitten Rescue is a nonprofit, volunteer-ran organization devoted to finding loving homes for unwanted homeless cats and kittens. Kitten Rescue saves cats and kittens from the streets of Los Angeles and from city shelter euthanasia. Since their start in 1997, they have grown into one of the largest, most well-respected animal welfare groups in LA. Other notable rock icons such as Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler and his wife Gloria, Ozzy Osbourne bassist Robert Blasco Nicholson, legendary Deep Purple bassist vocalist Glenn Hughes, and his wife Gabby, as well as Blabbermouth.net, are some of the organization's loyal supporters. None other than the metal god Rob Halford, as well as Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, have lent their image in support of Kitten Rescue. So going over to that website there and get you a Slash autograph top hat.
Yeah. Get your checkbook out.
Yeah. I actually may follow up with that just to see what it actually goes for when this happens. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I'm sure there will definitely be an update that will tell us what that went for.
all right,
I'd say what? Let's see. Let's just put out
I'm all
some guesses.
yeah.
Let's just put out some guesses right now. What do you say? I'm gonna say probably Slash's top hat. I'm probably gonna say $20,000.
Think so?
Yeah. You take the
I was
over
gonna
or
say
under.
I was gonna say around 10, but we'll see.
Oh, it's okay. So you'll
We
take
may
the under.
we
All
both
right.
may be wrong. It might go for 50. Who knows? Hey,
Yeah. Who
either
knows?
way,
Yeah.
it's going to a good cause. So,
That'll absolutely go to a good cause.
so
All
I'm
right.
all about saving the animals.
Yeah, me too. And speaking of speaking of auctions, I'll kind of segue off of that. Staying over at blabbermouth.com, Johnny Ramone's #1 Most Right guitar sold for $937,500 at a September 25th auction from Boston-based RR Auction. RR Auction Executive VP Bobby Livingston said, quote, "The consignor was thrilled with the results and is very happy that the guitar is in the hands of someone who will curate Johnny Ramone's Most Right for future generations to enjoy," end quote. The 1965 Most Right Ventures 2 electric guitar was personally owned and used by Johnny Ramone, real name John Cummings, for nearly 2 decades as the guitarist for punk rock legends the Ramones. With the back of the guitar signed in black felt tip, Johnny Ramone, My Main Guitar, 1977 to 1996. It was played at every Ramones performance until his retirement from November 1977 through August 1996 for a total of approximately 1,985 shows. The instrument was used to record all 15 Ramones albums and can be heard on any live Ramones bootleg from late 77 through 1999. It was later displayed at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland for a number of years. Cummings originally purchased the guitar in 1977 to replace his original blue Ventures 2 slab body, which was stolen from the Sire Records van with the rest of the band's gear after a show at the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. Ironically, this guitar had offered to Cummings earlier in 1977, but he passed on it, feeling it was too expensive at $500, which was a little less than 10 times what he paid for his original Ventures 2 in 1974. The fretboard shows an incredible amount of wear from Cummings' aggressive downstroke playing style. The guitar exhibits numerous nicks, dings, and wear to the finish. Secured to the guitar with gaffer's tape is Cummings' original strap and 3 Ramones picks, which, along with the original strings, were used at the last Ramones show, which occurred at the Palace in Los Angeles, California on August 6, 1996. The Ramones' entire arsenal of gear was stolen at the same time in Los Angeles in April 1983. Thankfully, however, this guitar was in the hotel being worked on by the band's guitar tech and was the only piece of gear not stolen that night. It is believed that approximately 100 to 150 slab-bodied Ventures 2 guitars were produced in 1965, making them rare in their own right, with Cummings owning 4 of them. Also included in the auction was Johnny Ramone's Electro Harmonix Mike Matthews Freedom amp. Cummings used this amp live at CBGB's and various other early Ramones shows, and Arturo Vega's loft throughout 1974 and 1975. According to Ramone's producer and engineer Ed Stasium, he played through this amp for the second guitar on the band's 1980 End of the Century LP. Quote, "It was a practice amp for Cummings, but that's what I used to do my tracking through all the pain and the glory of making that album," end quote. This amp can be seen in the video of the Ramones' first ever CBGB's performance, as well as as in other early videos and photos. This specialty curated auction of rock and roll rarities originated from the collection of Daniel Ray, a musician turned producer from the New Jersey, New York underground, who for over 3 decades was a trusted and invaluable member of the Ramones' inner sanctum. The Ramones and Punk collection of Daniel Ray from RR Auction began August 24th and concluded during the Remarkable Rarities live auction event that took place on Saturday, September 25th in Boston. So there you go. Almost
Wow.
a $1 million guitar. Of course, all the stats on that guitar, you're talking 20 years of shows, almost 2,000 shows, and then just all of the, all the provenance that that instrument has. It's really no wonder that it almost went for $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, maybe the top had to go for $1 million.
Maybe, maybe if like Slash died when he was wearing it, But
Yeah,
of course we know.
right.
Of course we know that. Of course we know that Slash is alive and well, so we don't have to worry about that. So.
Yeah. All right. And we'll stay with Blabbermouth here. Lizzie Hale from the record-breaking Grammy Award-winning rock band Hailstorm has joined forces with the guitar string jewelry company Strong. Lizzie's played guitar strings turned into badass rock jewelry will raise money for Music Cares. The one-of-a-kind limited edition necklaces and bracelets are made from the donation of guitar strings from Lizzie's played guitars from stage. Each string is hand wound into a piece of jewelry by Strung. Each purchase includes an official autographed authenticity card verifying Lizzie's played strings. Co-owner of Strung, Blame Shift vocalist Jenny Mann, says, quote, I've always looked up to and respected Lizzie. She is one of the most down-to-earth people in the industry, aside from being an insanely talented female vocalist. We are so grateful to have her on board and can't wait to see what the future holds, end quote. Strung is a lifestyle brand for music lovers made by musicians. Jenny Mann and Tim Barber, who discovered a unique way to repurpose their broken guitar strings and turn them into distinctive jewelry pieces for both men and women, themed to a classic song. With over 80 tracks ranging in genres including rock, metal, country, blues, hip hop, rap, and classical music to choose from, customers can wear their favorite song by ordering one of the custom bracelets, necklaces, or earrings, which comes with a matching charm. Additional shop items include unisex drum cymbal necklaces, uh, beaded bracelets, choker necklace cords, and more. Strong also has a customizable Send a Song shop where shoppers can pick their own song and matching charm. According to Guitar Girl magazine, the idea for Strong came about in 2012 when Mann and Barber, original members of the rock band Blame Shift, spent over 200 days touring the country, and Jeannie noticed all of the strings that guitarist Tim was constantly changing and leaving all over the tour bus. That inspired her to make bracelets from the used strings, and she began selling them at their merch table at shows. So, for more information on those, you can visit getstrong.com. So, again, another you know thing that they're doing, donating or
Mm-hmm.
raising money for music care. So, I don't know if a lot of people. I know you're not a big Hailstorm fan, but I've seen them a few times, and I've yet to see a show where Lizzie didn't do something that just blew my mind. I think she gave a guitar away at one show to a little 8-year-old girl. Um,
Damn.
and yeah, so I mean, she's done some pretty cool stuff, and can't really like get too hard on somebody that does that much good.
Oh hell no, man. You can fan or not, you can never be upset when celebrities give back.
Right.
Whatever whatever venue you're talking about, music, actors, athletes. You can never be upset when they give back when they're in the position to be able to do that. So
Yeah. I think
always
one of the
hats off to
one.
them. Always hats
Yeah,
off.
I think one of the people that always stood out to me growing up was the Keanu Reeves story, where he donated part of his paycheck to different charities and things like that.
Oh
So
hell, he's done that. He's done that tons of times. I remember.
yeah, no,
I can't even remember. I think it was one of the Matrix movies where he donated
yes,
money to like the crew members.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't remember all the details, but yeah, Keanu Reeves has done that multiple times.
yeah. And there was one actually. Let me pull that up real quick because I got it on my phone.
Yeah, he
I
does
do
it all
I
the
do
time.
the little I do little stuff at work where I do like kind of do did you know type things, and there was
Yeah.
one of those that kind of stuck out to me. Yeah, it was Robin Williams. His rider, uh, not a driver. I guess he had somebody ride with him and did things for him. But he required that for every single event or film he did, the company hiring him also had to hire a certain number of homeless people and put them to work. So that was part of
Oh, I'll be damned.
his that was part of his requirements as doing things is they had to hire a certain amount of homeless people and put them to work. Just I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean,
That
uh,
is.
doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it's a lot to them. I mean, because
Well,
a lot of
and
the people that
it's
are homeless want to work. It's you know,
yeah. it's people looking out for other people, and you don't really hear enough stories about that.
Right. Yeah.
At least
At there's a lot.
at least I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Well, there's a lot more selfishness going on than it is giving.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Let's see. I'm staying over at Blabbermouth. Godsmack's latest album, When Legends Rise, has been certified gold by the RIAA for sales in excess of 500,000 copies. In
Nice.
addition, two more of the LP's singles, the title track and Under Your Scars, have also been officially certified gold by the RIAA. The album's first single, Bulletproof, earned a Platinum Digital Single Award in September 2020 and was previously certified gold in the U.S. The RIAA developed its Gold and Platinum Awards program in 1958 to honor artists and create a standard by which to measure the commercial success of a sound recording. And I've read all that already more than once. Let's see. When Legends Rise is the seventh studio album from Godsmack, which consists of Sully Erna, Tony Rambola, Robbie Merrill, and Shannon Larkin. Produced by Eric Ron and Erna, it was the band's first release in 4 years and was recorded at their now former headquarters, GSHQ, in Derry, New Hampshire. The album went on to garner a multitude of career milestones for the group: 4 #1 rock tracks, an accomplishment that makes Godsmack one of only 4 rock acts to achieve this, and a record 11 #1 singles in the band's career, with the album's 4th single, Unforgettable. When Legends Rise entered the Billboard Top 200 album chart in the top 10 at number 8, with 4 #1 placements on other charts: top rock albums, top hard music albums, top independent albums, and top alternative albums, which is kind of weird. But after more than 20 years of chart-topping success, Godsmack remained bulletproof, quote unquote, says Thomas. Yeah, I know, right? Says Thomas Schur, BMG president, repertoire and marketing, New York and Los Angeles. Undeniable hit songs with innovative videos and an unprecedented direct access between the band and their fans, Godsmack deliver an unforgettable music experience. The band continues to develop their global presence and put in the creative hard work that is the recipe for success. We all look forward to seeing them back out on the road soon, touring around the world behind their long-anticipated upcoming new album on BMG. I'm looking forward to the follow to that album too, because you and I both thought it was a terrific album, and hopefully at some point that album goes platinum, because
yes,
in all honesty, when I read this story, just a few days ago that said that it was certified gold, I was like, really? It's just now certified gold? I figured it would have already happened, but
right.
Regardless when it happened, and good for them. Looking forward to the follow-up.
Yeah, and to me, I have a few Godsmack albums, but that was probably my favorite. So, for me to say that, about a band that's been around, since the late '90s, it's I don't remember what album this was for them. Eighth or something. I don't remember. Seventh, I knew it was something like that, 7th or 8th. But yeah, so 7 or 8 albums in, you usually don't say, "Oh, that's my favorite."
Well, I'll definitely
usually always, even with Metallica, Hardwired was a great album, but I still, I'm still a Master of Puppets guy. I mean, that's just one of my favorite albums, and always will be. I mean, I don't think Metallica, could probably top that one, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I mean, I know people that like rather Lightning better, or you know what I'm saying, though. They've got way more than 7 albums, but
right.
But for you to say, Metallica comes out with their 20th album, and it's probably not likely you're going to say, "Oh, this is my favorite."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
the
the
odds get a little long. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's saying something about what Godsmack's doing right now. So.
Yeah, and I actually second, your opinion, about When Legends Rise. That's actually my favorite Godsmack album too. Of course they have other, good albums and other good songs from earlier in their career. But if you're talking,
no doubt.
But if just talking albums unto themselves, then yeah, I agree with you.
All right, so I'm gonna switch over to Loudwire. Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, and Triptychon founder Tom Gabriel Fischer, better known by the alias Tom G. Warrior, was a recent recipient of the Swiss Music Prize 2021, which was awarded by the Swiss Federal Office of Culture at a September 17th ceremony at Lugano's Arte Cultura LEC Center. This marked the very first time the award had been bestowed upon a heavy metal artist, helping to further cement Warrior's legacy as a pioneer whose early bands Hellhammer and Celtic Frost left a subsequent mark on metal's developments, particularly in the burgeoning black and death metal realms in the mid to late 80s. Tom Gabriel Warrior's bands have played a significant role in music history and influenced musicians around the globe. A metal music pioneer, Warrior is an idol not just within the boundaries of the metal scene, and as an advocate for animal rights, he aims to provide a voice to those who don't have one, reads a statement from the Swiss Federal Office of Culture via Triptychon's Facebook page. Although I was very fortunate to be granted a loyal audience already early on in my career, not least in my native country of Switzerland, the local Swiss music industry and cultural institutions either ignored me or expressed derision for my music, and sometimes they even obstructed it. In their perception, it simply didn't conform and wasn't commercial enough. And indeed, my music was dark, experimental, and obstinate. But exactly due to these qualities, it was noticed abroad, began Warrior in his acceptance speech. It also edited transcript provided through Triptychon's Facebook page. He continued, I do, of course, understand that receiving this prize is an honor, and I do feel grateful for it. But given that an inconceivable 40 years have passed since I first became a musician, the prize is also quite irrelevant to me by now. I have pursued my path regardless without subordinating myself to any of the customary inbreeding rituals of the Swiss music scene and without ever applying for
Yikes.
any kind of cultural funding from the Swiss state or the relevant institutions. The support granted to me throughout the years by the following individuals was absolutely essential, however, and my gratitude is to them is limitless. Added Warrior, who went on to name the following directly: Antje Lang, Van Jasla, Alois Wendelin, Urs Springer, Maya Girardello, Martin Eric Ain, Michelle Fisher, H.R. Geiger, and Carmen Geiger, uh, George Michael, not that George Michaels, Ian Christie, uh, Dennis Mathau, Corrine Kuhn, Kathy Lenz, and there are many more. The Swiss icon noted and concluded, moreover, I would also like to express my gratitude to those who did not kill animals, do not enslave them, and do not mistreat them, but instead respect and protect them. I bow to you. So congratulations to Tom G. Warrior on that well-deserved honor. I think it's pretty wild that a first metal act get that honor, which is pretty crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm going to go on here for a second, just because it's a real quick story. We talked about this a little bit last night. I got it from over
Okay.
at Metal Injection, but I think pretty much everybody had covered it. But Metallica is continuing their Black Album reissue campaign with a brand new Funko Pop figurine modeled after the band's then lineup and the album's iconic artwork. The figure is set to ship this December and is available for $49. You can also check out guitarist Kirk Hammett unboxing the figurine over at Metal Injection. Um, Funko and Walmart are teaming up to get in on the Black Album 2021 celebration with this new Pop Deluxe album Metallica exclusive. I don't know if I got a picture of it here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Move it
Let me
over
know if
to
I
your
can get
left. There you go.
see
Yeah,
it.
there it is. Yeah, there you got it.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
It's
that's actually pretty neat. I
yeah.
saw a picture of it. I don't have any of those, but I may
You may have to
grab that
invest.
one. Yeah, I'm
It's
probably
pretty
gonna
cool.
grab that one if I can find it.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I actually have an Angus Young one. I think I showed you from the Highway to Hell album
Right.
cover. Um,
Yep.
and so those album cover ones are pretty cool. And with them being exclusive, they're really good collector's items. like I said, especially with Metallica, it's probably going to go fast. I think they're doing like pre-orders really, so that
Yeah, I'm
maybe
sure they
depending
are.
on how many. Yeah, so it probably depends on how many pre-orders they get as how many they actually make and ship out. So, but
Yeah, they probably won't be able to keep up with demand initially.
probably not. So that may be why they say start shipping out in December because they're taking orders up until a point, and then yeah. So, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be placing mine here in the next week or so.
Yeah. All right. I'm staying. It's like Blabbermouth for me as far as
Yeah,
current events news
Blabbermouth.
goes.
Yeah, Blabbermouth had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they do. They had a lot of good stuff. So I'm sticking with them. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett proclaimed Friday, October 1st as Alice Cooper Day throughout the city. Harry Rocker is playing tonight at the BMO Harris Pavilion as part of his U.S. tour with special guest Ace Frehley. Of course, that was last night. And then, tomorrow night here in Nashville, they'll be here. So today's Saturday. We're kind of sandwiched in between those two shows. Barrett explained his decision to honor Cooper, writing in a tweet, quote, "If you are a Milwaukeean, you cannot forget Alice Cooper's Milwaukee history lesson to characters Wayne and Garth in the 1992 movie Wayne's World, where he coined the phrase Milwaukee. The godfather of shock rock and stage theatrics, Alice Cooper has entertained countless Milwaukee fans since his first Wisconsin show in 1973. I welcome back to, quote-unquote, good land today by proclaiming October 1st as Alice Cooper Day throughout the city of Milwaukee," end quote. In Wayne's World, Alice explained the meaning behind the name Milwaukee, saying it was actually pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land. As it turns out, Milwaukee does indeed translate to good land, but from terms originating in the Ojibwa, Potawatomi, and Menominee languages. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2011, Alice Cooper specialized in psychedelic tinted music that presaged and inspired glam, hard rock, metal, and even punk. The Mighty Quintet paired this music with theatrical and at times terrifying stage shows featuring things such as electric chair simulations and guillotine beheadings. Outside of the horror shtick, Alice Cooper never skimped on songwriting, which explains why School's Out and No More Mr. Nice Guy remain fist-pumping favorites. So I don't know when the last time it was that you saw Wayne's World, but I'm sure you remember that scene. And every time every time I hear someone talk about Milwaukee, that's actually where my head goes first, is Alice Cooper doing that Milwaukee thing. That's where my head goes every time. And I think it's funny that he was right, that it actually translates into good land. I think that's fucking hilarious that it's actually true. It just makes it all the better.
A lot of our hard rock and metal icons are not stupid. So I mean,
no, they aren't.
D. Snyder is a prime example. So,
I think D. Snyder. I think D. Snyder still has Congress's lunch money like framed on his wall from 19. Yeah, I think he still got. I would
not doubt that at all. Yeah, no doubt.
Would.
He's like one me, 0 you. So
yep.
But I wonder if you pronounce the beer what is it, Milwaukee? I wonder if it makes it taste better if you pronounce it that way.
You're talking about Old Milwaukee? I don't know. I don't know.
Or if you pronounce it different, maybe it tastes better. I don't know. I know you don't drink, so you wouldn't know. But
yeah, I wouldn't know. But yeah, any beer fans out there, let us know if that works. I mean, just try it. You never know.
So maybe if you say it 3 times, maybe the 3 times is the key, like Beetlejuice or something.
Right. Maybe Alice Cooper will show up at your house if you say it 3 times. Maybe he might. I don't know.
Is it just me, or is it like I don't know if anybody out there follows this show American Horror Story, but I feel like they missed like booking Alice Cooper in some of these episodes or something. I was like, why have you not gotten like some of the big horror guys, or even like Elvira? I mean, you could do special stuff, special guests with these people that are big horror,
Yeah, or even fucking Rob Zombie, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, well, they might not can afford Rob though. So
that's actually a good point. That's a good point. No, but they got Lady Gaga.
I can see the thing. I can see that. Them talking to Rob about that, and Rob's be like, "Nah, you know what you need? You need a good director. Let me take the helm."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
but I don't
I
think
would
they
I
need
would
any help
actually.
in that direction. They've actually been going for 10 years, so I think they're in good shape.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's a decent enough show. I haven't watched every season of it. I
yeah,
didn't. I watched a little bit of the. I think the last one was what 1984
yeah,
was the
which was
last
cool
one.
because it kind of touched on uh, the horror years that we
Hmm.
grew up in. So it
Yeah.
was kind of cool to see all the whole time I'm watching that, I'm trying to pick out the actual movie that they're portraying in the
Hmm.
scenes, and it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome to try to do that. But
Yeah.
and I did, and then after it was all over, they actually listed that, and I actually did miss a couple. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't see that. And then, of course, I went back and watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now I see it. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah. So I
know,
haven't. So I haven't seen every season of that show, but I mean, it's a good enough show.
yeah,
So it's
I
not
like it.
bad. Yeah.
So
So they
yeah,
must be they must be doing something right. Yeah, they must be doing something
right,
right to be
yeah.
around,
The
for
the
10
new
years.
one's
So.
the new one's a little weird, but
Well, I mean, they're all a little weird in their own right, but yeah.
well, true. But this one's like really strange. So hopefully it starts making
Yeah.
it's a little better. But all right, I'm gonna stick with Metal Injection over here. Greyhawk bassist Darren Wall stopped a shooting before it even began during a September 5th, 5 or
Hmm.
during a September 5th show at the Shredder in Boise, Idaho. I think you may have covered this story a couple weeks ago,
I
but
did. Yeah, I did.
but Wall spotted would-be shooter at Ethan Bird making finger gun motions at people in the crowd, and eventually tried to keep Bird outside the venue with the help of a second member from another band. Bird left and returned with a gun, at which point Wall tackled Bird and was unfortunately shot in the leg. Bird was arrested by police, and Wall spent some time at home recovering with a bullet still in his leg. Wait a minute, still in his leg? What the hell? Man, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, he
Greyhawk.
is he is in a metal band. He's probably like, can you just keep it in there? I'm
Yeah, there's nothing more metal than a bullet still in your leg after
telling
20
you.
years.
Well, hey,
uh,
talk about bullet with a name on it, huh?
yeah, there you go. Oh man, Greyhawk played their first show back since the shooting on September 26th at El Corazon in Seattle, Washington. The only difference between then and now is that Wall is performing sitting down, using the exact same throne Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl used when he broke his foot in 2015. There are three people who have used it, said Wall in an interview with King 5. There's Dave Grohl, Axl Rose, and then me. Wall added that he initially made a comment about using Grohl's throne to perform on social media. Foo Fighters management saw the comment, and Grohl himself called Wall offering the throne. Quote, he called me from the MTV VMA Awards, and Dave Grohl said, I'll ship that throne up to you at my expense, end quote, said Wall. So he pretty much got a handoff, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
a pass the torch type thing, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, so very very heroic act nonetheless. So
absolutely.
so hopefully he recovers and gets the
Yeah,
gets the hopefully he got the bullet out of his leg, but who knows?
right. Yeah.
That was kind of a odd thing to read. I'm just like, wait a minute, still in his leg because I didn't read that part when I was proofreading that stuff. But wow,
Yeah, but yeah, good on him for for seeing that and stopping that. And then we've talked before about Dave Grohl on the show. Not
oh yeah,
personally, not exactly. Was never a fan of Nirvana, and Foo Fighters are okay, but we've
yeah,
talked we've talked before about how good of a dude Dave Grohl is.
yeah,
And I mean, this is just another example of it. He's of course, I've never met the guy, but from everything I've read and heard, he's a real down to earth guy. And, he does a lot of charitable stuff. And
yeah,
this isn't
and he
exactly charity, but I mean, not exactly charity, but going ahead and, you know, doing something like this for that guy, considering what he went through and what he did accomplish, stopping that mass shooting at that club. It's just, good on him to do that for
Yeah, but
good on him to do that.
could you imagine being in the band Greyhawk and then somebody saying, "Hey, Dave Grohl's on the phone for you"? Just like, oh, what?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And he'd be like,
Oh
what?
man,
No.
yeah,
Probably would have thought it was a joke at first, like he was being trolled or
right,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, so I mean, that's
All
like,
right.
hopefully one day we'll blow up and be to where we can get interviews and talk to some of these people. Like Dave Grohl would be one of the guys that I would love to just talk to about,
Oh yeah.
some of the things that he's done, and what kind of legacy that he's wanting to leave. I think he's leaving a good
Mm-hmm.
legacy. I mean, as far as being a for
Oh
the fans
yeah, I
type,
definitely say he
he's
does.
he's definitely a for the fans type musician. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, he's got quite the legacy, I would say.
yeah, he looks
All
just
right,
like
I've
that
got
drummer in
one more.
Nirvana.
He does look a lot like him. I know it's weird, especially when he shaves his beard off. It's fucking crazy.
Uh,
But anyway, all right, I've got one more. I've got one more over at blabbermouth.net, and I decided to hold this one till last. I didn't want to leave this one. So a vendor at last weekend's Louder Than Life festival died after an apparent overdose. The vendor, identified just on the coroner's office as 40-year-old Nicholas Davis, was found dead before the event opened its doors on Friday morning, September 24th. Louder Than Life producers Danny Wimmer Presents issued the following statement last Friday, quote, "The well-being of our festival goers, staff, vendors, volunteers, and artists is our primary concern, and we work diligently to ensure the safest event possible. Overnight, a member of our team discovered an unresponsive contract vendor in a working zone. EMS was dispatched immediately and confirmed the death as an apparent overdose. Our deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers go out to the family and friends," end quote. Louder Than Life hosted tens of thousands of people over a 4-day period at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Several bands ended up pulling out of the festival over concerns, including Nine Inch Nails, which canceled all of its performances. A few days before the festival was set to begin, Mudvayne also dropped out after lead singer Chad Gray tested positive for the novel coronavirus. All attendees were required to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. For fans who were not fully vaccinated, a negative COVID-19 test result had to be obtained within 72 hours of the first day of coming into the campground or festival grounds. The festival also required masks in any indoor spaces, regardless of vaccination status. Attendees were also strongly encouraged to wear masks in the camp or festival grounds. Danny Hayes, CEO of Danny Wimmer Presents, estimated this year's festival averaged around 30 to 35,000 attendees per day, according to WDRB. So yeah, maybe we'll get some more details on that, but not exactly the best way to start off a music festival is to find somebody dead on the premises. And I know you've been to Louder Than Life before, even though you didn't go this year. I know you've been to
Right.
that venue before.
Yeah, actually, the venue that they're doing it at now, the year I went was the first year they did it at this venue. I didn't care for it, I guess mainly because it was a newer spot, and the way they had it set up, you were constantly in stirring up dust and that kind of thing. That was like the biggest thing there. I mean, I'm not complaining by any means, but I'm just saying, like, if you had like anything negative to take away from that, that would probably be the only thing negative you could take away.
Yeah. Oh shit. This is this one. This one I actually just found. This one wasn't on Blabbermouth. Even an hour ago before the show started. According to the website of the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, legendary Savatage singer John Nicholas John Oliva was arrested earlier this week on the west central coast of Florida for driving under the influence as well as possession of a controlled substance. The Pasco County Jail website shows the 62-year-old musician was arrested at 3:43 a.m. on Thursday, September 30th, and was released on bail less than 24 hours later at 12:34 a.m. on Friday, October 1st. Police charged Oliva with possession of cocaine, which is a felony, and DUI, which is a misdemeanor. Oliva's booking photo was released by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, shows him apparently wearing a hospital gown and sporting what appeared to be fresh scrapes on his nose and left cheek, suggesting he may have been injured in an auto accident before being arrested. More information on Oliva's arrest can be found on the Pasco County Sheriff's Office website, where he is listed under booking number 254418. Back in 2016, John announced on social media that he suffered a stroke in April of that year. At the time, he said, quote, "It was not as serious as it could have been, but it did leave me with some physical recovery challenges often associated with strokes," end quote. Despite his health issues, John said that he didn't regret the way he had lived his life. He wrote, quote, "I lived the rock and roll lifestyle since I was 18. It's all I knew, and I enjoyed the ride very much. But there comes a time in everyone's life where you have to step back and make some life-changing decisions, which I have," end quote. Shortly after Savage's reunion performance at the 2015 Wacken Open Air Festival in Wacken, Germany, Oliva claimed that he felt better than he had in 20 years because he had, quote unquote, stopped drinking and eating in preparation for the concert. He explained, quote, "It's my voice that's been freaking me out because even when I was in my late 20s, early 30s doing songs like 24 Hours Ago, we were were always really hard to do. And of course, I didn't realize that it was all the drugs and alcohol I was doing. But after doing that, getting my act together and stuff, singing 24 Hours Ago, it's actually easy now," end quote. In the past, Oliva has spoken openly about going a little too far during Savage's 1988 tour with Megadeth and living the rock and roll life that eventually forced him to seek treatment at a chemical rehabilitation center. As a result, Savatage had to cancel a scheduled tour, including European dates. In 2012, Oliva told Metal Blast about his early problems with drugs and alcohol, quote, "We were crazy, but we were having so much fun. We were all in our prime, just loving to have a great time. Back then, you just got caught up in it. Before you even realized you had a drug problem, it was already too late because everywhere you went, people were giving you pot, coke, a drink. I mean, I never went anywhere from 1984 to 2001 when someone hadn't tried to give me drugs or alcohol," end quote. In addition to his work with Savatage, Oliva is well known for co-creating the classical music meets prog rock and pyro acts Trans-Siberian Orchestra alongside the project's founder Paul O'Neill. Oliva has reportedly remained involved in TSO's activity even after O'Neill's April 2017 death of an accidental drug overdose. March, Oliva revealed to 80s glam metal cast that he battled COVID-19 for 2 months last year. Quote, "I had it for 8 weeks and I wouldn't have wished it on my worst enemy in the world. I would not have wished on anybody. It was brutal. It really was. It sucked. But I'm okay now, and I'm going to be getting my vaccination here in the next week or so, and that's that. So I lived through it. They don't want me in heaven. Christ doesn't want me up there because the first thing I'm doing when I get to heaven is I'm punching Paul O'Neill and Chris Oliva in the face."
Wow.
John's brother Chris, who was one of the founding members of Savatage, was killed in October 1993 by a drunk driver when he and his wife Dawn were en route to the livestock festival in Zephyr Hills, Florida. The driver of the other car was found to have a drunk driving record of 7 prior DUIs and having a blood alcohol content of 0.294.
Jesus.
Holy shit. So, yeah, John Oliva's seen some things and some stuff, and I don't think he would recommend it. So,
Man,
God damn, 0.294.
I still driving with you got 7 DUIs. Like, I don't understand this shit. It's like,
Well,
you know, it
yeah.
could have been. It could have. You know, it cost somebody innocent their life. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll stop trying to.
So yeah, that was basically some breaking news for you guys here at Metalheads Unite podcast. Yeah.
This just in.
Got to play that. Got to play the lead into Peace Cells from MTV News. Yeah.
We gotta get us we gotta get that on the here we can play it.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
All right, so my last story is going to be long-winded, so bear with me as
Whoa.
from the ring. Yeah, over
buckle
from
up.
the ring. Yeah, buckle up. Yeah, hopefully I
buckle up.
Run out of breath in the middle of it. I didn't realize it was this long.
Got to do one of those Ace Ventura things.
Or Harlem Nights, so, you know, where it's like short breath.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, when Christina Scavia first picked up the Joy Pass, she had no idea she was steering herself onto a path that would still be throwing up juicy side missions 3 decades down the line. A young teenager in northern Italy during the mid-'80s first-generation video game boom, the future Lacuna Coil frontwoman didn't have the spare cash for the cutting-edge equipment at the time, whose 128 color palettes and blocky two-dimensional sprites felt utterly futuristic. When a local friend powered up David Crane's 1982 masterpiece Pitfall on their Atari 2600, however, it opened the doors to another world. I've been a gamer for quite a while. Her eyes lit up at the memory. I love video games. I love what you can learn from them, and I love the stories they tell. Few games are as darkly compelling as Blizzard Entertainment's legendary Diablo series. bringing to life the dark fantasy realm of Sanctuary, a midpoint between the heavens and burning hells. Its trio of classic titles chronicle the eternal conflict between mankind and the demonic legions led by Diablo, fearsome destroyer of souls. When David Bredic's original landed in 1996, it was a literal game changer for the industry, raising the bar in terms of depth and detail, storytelling, and character building. 2000's Diablo 2 raised it again, still revered by hardcore gamers as the greatest action RPG of all time, while 2012's Diablo 3 brought the franchise into the modern era. Fittingly, it's against the shadowy backdrop that Christina joins us today to discuss Start Again, her music collaboration with the minds behind thrilling 3D HD remastered Diablo 2 Resurrected. Speaking from her high backed gaming chair in front of an impressive PC setup this morning, she looks ready for battle. As laid back, dressed down counterpart to her imposing onstage alter ego, she is surrounded by stacks of proudly displayed paraphernalia, from a plushie of Gremlins Gizmo and photos of her band to figurines of her favorite virtual characters, spare controllers, and the, oh my god, I hate this word, ubiquitous,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
ubiquitous. Yep.
energy drink refrigerator. Anyone familiar with Christina's wondering if this might be a carefully arranged studio space should think again. It's actually part of my living room. She laughs. There's this big table that was supposed to be for dinners with friends, but as we would go out to eat instead, I decided to use it for something that I like and filled it with computers, monitors, and consoles. That's where I play. It's where I stream from. It's the safe place. Diablo's Heroes works best when joining forces, and 30 minutes further north in the town of Serrano, we meet Marco Errata, aka YouTube sensation Mark the Hammer, Christina's collaborator on Start Again. And a playful, light mind, I was 3 years old when I first played on a Game Boy. He smiles into the light of a bank of monitors, and I never stopped. For readers not in the know, Mark is the uber talented multi instrumentalist who gained a reputation for uploading incisive, tongue in cheek videos to YouTube like irritating guitar lessons and how to create a black metal song without any talent. learning learning piano aged 8, he quickly graduated to electric guitar, bass, and drums. He's since been picked up as the live guitarist keyboardist for Italian pop hip hop icon J Axe. The main Mark the Hammer YouTube channel has more than a half a million subscribers, while its English language alternative boasts close to 100,000. Both accomplished analytical, artistic minds, it feels key to Start Again's success that the duo see gaming as a chance to switch off, less interested in graphics and game engines than narrative drive and world building. Whenever you listen to a song as a musician, you have your brain working, thinking about what exactly is going on, explains Mark. I'm a big fan of acting and drama too, and the same thing applies when you watch a movie. But when you pick up the gamepad, you're able to relax, switch that part of your brain off. It's the only thing in my life that I can really say is completely relaxing. I know that some people prefer creating groups or being part of a competition, agrees Christina, noting that Diablo in particular fits her playstyle, but I'm more of a selfish solitary player. I don't want to feel the competition while I play. I want to be able to relax and do things at my own pace, to have my own rhythm. I don't necessarily think of games as an escape. For me, it's a different world that I want to be part of, parallel to the real world. It's not that I want to run away and live in the video game world, but when I'm playing, I want to stay there. I want to focus on what's happening. I want to absorb all the vibes. It's not just something that you're watching. You're part of it. You can choose your character. You can increase your power. You can pick your path and select your sides. These are things about this world that non gamers could never really understand. Like all the best guests, it began with a message from out of the blue. Mark recalls the sense of absurdity watching an email drop into his inbox that he couldn't quite believe was real. I remember opening the message and seeing that it was an opportunity to write a song inspired by Diablo 2 for the release of Diablo 2 Resurrected. Oh yeah, and you'll have Christina Scabia from Lacuna Coil doing vocals, and I was just like, what? Having dropped the video game soundtrack cover albums, Hammer Games Volume 1 and 0 in 2015 and 16, respectively, Mark had pedigreed into the field, but he struggled to comprehend the opportunity for such a high profile collaboration. This is a game that I bought as a 14-year-old, and when it first came out back in the year 2000, he fishes out his original CD case for an unsubtle flex, and you're asking me to write an official song to go with it. That in itself is mind blowing. Be used be, but to be able to do that with the greatest singer in Italian metal, I thought it was some sort of strange spam at first. When I realized that it wasn't, it became amazing on so many levels. I'm not a huge fan of YouTube, nor presumably of the hack and slash subgenre. Christina's manager didn't quite know what to make of the invitation. Fortunately, having followed one of Lacuna Coil's old guitars through a laptop screen and into Sanctuary all those years ago, and already a fan of Mark's videos, that she didn't take much convincing. I was just like, Mark the Hammer? Yeah, I follow him, she grins. When the project was to write a song for Diablo 2 Resurrected, I immediately said yes. If you look back at interviews, what I did years ago, whenever they asked me what dream I had or what I was missing from my body of work, I always said I would like to write something for a video game. When this came along, it was like, hello. Christina admits that she struggled with writer's block over lockdown, having watched her native Italy become one of the first countries crippled by the spread of COVID 19. She was unwilling to create music power to transport her back to those most troubled of times. Compared to the glacial pace of the music industry over the last 18 months, however, dropping in at a crunch time and a massive games release schedule came as an invigorating change of pace. The first message exchange between Christina and Mark was on August 23rd, with a song due online to coincide with Diablo 2 Resurrected's launch exactly a month later. When you have a deadline, it can either throw you down or really speed everything up and add an excitement. Christina muses. For us, it was definitely the latter. We were perhaps a little bit intense about not knowing each other. Anytime you're working with someone new, you ask yourself these questions: Is he going to be nice? Is he going to be an asshole? Is he going to have the same ideas as I have? The same creativity, the same speed? As soon as we started to text, though, I realized that Mark was really relaxed, really funny. He's like me. We would send and receive messages in the middle of the night and get immediate replies. It was like we opened the floodgates to an ocean of ideas. A high level of fandom was pivotal. Diablo's angels and monsters, greater and lesser evils, seemed like characters lifted from the metal album covers to begin with, and the chaotic action that spills from the streets of Tristram and the slopes of Mount Errata that go down into the depths of hell could hardly be better suited to metalheads who are ever never happier than when thrown down in the pit. Christina and Mark's preferred player classes, uh, sor- sorceress and barbarian, respectively, even mirror their onstage personas. To simply phone in the sort of crowd-pleasing banger either of these musicians could write in their sleep would be to do the project a deep service. Christina reckons that if Diablo were a band, it would either be Judas Priest, all OTT outfits, pointy edges, and demonic imagery, or Ramstein, uh, spewing sheer pyrotechnic bombast. Mark contends that the larger-than-life battle-obsessed uh, aesthetic of Iron Maiden might be a better match, pointing out that many of the most monstrous iterations of Ed the Head wouldn't look out of place in this deepest dungeons. We'd argue that the ominous, folky atmospheric of peak Opeth even more closely evoked the playing experience, echoing Matt Ullman's iconic original score. In the same way that Diablo 2 Resurrected marks an upgrade for players in 2021 while maintaining the original Dark Hearts dynamic light, three-dimensional rendering, and high-definition presentation, bringing the action sharply up to date, this song needed to pay respect while still packing enough heft to make an impact on metal fans in 2021. Diablo is such an iconic game, nods Mark. I knew the original score, I knew the original atmosphere, I knew where it had to go, more or less, but it was a challenge to make something new while paying respect to the original. There were parts where I wasn't sure where I was going, but as soon as Christina got really into the project and added her vocals, it felt like everything just clicked. Mark's involvement was crucial. Christina Press looking at the original soundtrack. I was thinking, this is such a classic, it's so iconic, but it's not singable. It felt like putting a voice over the top would ruin it. But as soon as I heard the music that Mark had written, um, sorry, I was thinking this is such a classic, it's so iconic, but it's not singable. I felt like putting a voiceover would ruin it. But as soon as I heard the music that Mark had written, it had changed everything. He made it singable, and he created so many um, different parts that offer so many different scenes, so many different moods. There are atmospheric parts, but where there were also heavier parts, like it's a journey from beginning to end. Art sweeping rescore, part fans perspective, love better, part limb swinging metal, banger. The finished track feels like a striking bridge between worlds. It is the aim of for the fans who've yet to discover the pleasures of metal or gaming to be able to walk across it. The worlds of metal and gaming have always been strongly connected, reckons Christina, highlighting the fact that they're both tightly knit outsider communities, fascinated by the dark and fantastical, which can appear intimidating to outsiders looking in. Although she and Mark will happily welcome new fans, the main priority was to write a great song, hopefully tightening the bond between communities that already exist. It's a lifestyle, she gestures. If you see a metalhead, there's a strong chance you'll be able to talk about games or vice versa. Indeed, the lines have increasingly blurred over the last couple of decades. Countless rockers found their way into the world via the legendary Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack. The Guitar Hero franchise brought songs as unusual Dragon Forces Through the Fire and Flames, Lamb of God's Laid to Rest, and Slayer's Raining Blood, not to forget Lacuna Coil's Closer, into non-metalhead sphere. Celebrities as high profile as Tenacious D's Jack Black have spearheaded their own digital metal crossovers, while Avenged Sevenfold's M Shadows cropped up as a playable character in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Gamers have even increasingly taken to wearing branded T-shirts, all of those of their favorite bands, enabling them to recognize each other on the street. On the other side of the coin, bleeding edge artists like The Armed, Refused, and Run the Jewels have recently been inspired to write specifically for games. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Savalbard Serena Cherry just started a one-woman black metal side project called Noctool, dedicated to her favorite epic RPG. Hell, Christina even tells us that pounding compositions by gent-influenced video game soundtrack maestro Mick Gordon are amongst the most listened on her personal playlist. It's down to a change in perspective, Christina reckons, where intelligent eye for detail is now considered every bit as cool as debauched Hellraiser attitude. Games and intricate storytelling and epic design are recognized as on par with the finest parts of cinema, and esports competitions regularly boast larger prize pots than those of their athletic counterparts. Was always part of the nerd world, she says, with more than a hint of vindication. A few years ago, it felt like it was almost something to be ashamed of to admit that you're a nerd, as if you had this weird, ridiculous aura. But now everybody, all of these people who were never interested, seem to want to be involved in the world. I will sometimes think, nah, you need to prove you're really into it. She's not kidding, as if that massive cache of gaming equipment from the original PlayStation, the countless Game Boys, and computer components wasn't proof enough. Christina has even appeared as playable character the Shadow Sorceress in Iron Maiden's ever evolving Legacy of the Beast mobile game. It was such an honor, such a pleasure to create my own character and give all the direction for the outfit, which was basically the outfit I was wearing on the last Lacuna Coil tour before lockdown, she grins. Going even geekier, Lacuna Coil also launched their own Horns Up tabletop card game where players must fight their way to the front of the stage. It's something we're all really interested in, but particularly our bassist, Mackie. Christina continues, every card is related to metal cliches. We even gave our fans the opportunity to see themselves on one of the cards. Although Lacuna Coil maintained their high drama presence with September 2020's Black Enigma Live from the Apocalypse stream and June 2021's live album of the same name, Christina was keen to use the time off to introduce fans to her character away from the band, emboldened to set up her own channel on Twitch. I just wanted to learn new things which could enrich my baggage of knowledge. She enthuses. I'm already singing, already writing, but I don't want to fixate on those. Life was made up of so many different things that can enrich my music and my creativity. I was already a Twitch user, watching other people play games, but I didn't know what my purpose was. I almost felt scared at first. I'm a singer. Somehow an entertainer. I like to talk, which is clear, but it's different when you're talking to a lot of people for a couple of hours or more. Eventually, I decided to keep it as informal as I could so that people could see how Christina is at home. Christina isn't just a singer of Lacuna Coil. I have a house, I have a life, I have passions, I have my own personality. I just wanted people to discover that. Luckily, they also like this quirky side of me, which feels like the opposite that dark goth lady that so many people know. As much as I didn't have purpose in the beginning, there's now such a strong community every time I go online, such a clean place to exchange good vibes. Even the persistent undertones of sexism and misogyny that have plagued gaming, she pushes are a speed bump to be put in the review, comparable to what she experienced when first making her name in heavy metal music. In metal, I encountered the same problem. She explains bluntly, women becoming a major presence in the community was something new, and when something is new, people have suspicions and doubts. They don't know how to deal with it, but there are a lot of female gamers now and a lot of females in metal. It's been normalized, which it should be, because games and metal are for everyone. As the world comes back up to speed, hectic schedules mean that the attention is turning away from screens and back towards studio and stage. Markets churning out more and more top class YouTube content. Christina has a packed diary with a tribute concert for late collaborator Franco Basciato at the spectacular Arena di Verona this week, and another secretive collaboration in the works. Not to mention writing for Lacuna Coil's 10th LP, which has just begun. Her creative fire is reignited by bringing Start Again to life. Having dipped toes in the video game world, though, they're both keen to return. I really hope we do, Christina says. As a fan of video games, it's such a great chance to bring together these different passions in your life. There are so many different things I'd like to do and places I'd like to explore in this world, but time is limited. I love the challenge here and the process of collaboration. I was marking together again when it comes time to make Diablo 4. That would be amazing. I'd love the opportunity to have my own playable character in an Iron Maiden video game too, but I'm not sure that's achievable. I thought the same thing, grins Christina, ever adventurous as we wave farewell, never say never. Diablo 2 Resurrected is now on Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, Xbox S, and PC. So all that long-winded stuff just to know that Christina collaborated to make a song for the video game Diablo. But I did like the story because they kind of dug deep into her personality, outside of metal. So, and
Yeah, well,
I apologize.
it was actually a no, it
No, go
was
ahead.
no, man. It was cool. It was cool to hear, like you said, to it kind of like talked more about her personality away from the stage
Right.
and everything. But it was cool to hear like the backstory about how the collaboration came together too, and how
Yeah.
it got to this point. So yeah, it was. I mean, it was a long story, but yeah, it was cool to hear all the details behind the collaboration.
And I guess there were some sound issues. I seen your message, but I think it's been going on this one. You were kind of max headrooming earlier too, so I think it may be just a
Oh,
happening.
so it may just be a beta thing, huh?
Yeah, yeah, just a beta thing. Yeah. I'm gonna start calling it the beta bump, man. We hit a beta bump.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right.
Man, but that was my last news story. Thank God,
Okay.
because I'm
Yeah.
I gotta go get my oxygen tank now. So.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have any more. I don't have any more news stories, but Jason, I mentioned this to you last night. Last week, we went an extra hour, well, hour and a half, because we went ahead and we broke down the Metallica Blacklist track by track. So we needed a little bit of extra time to do that. So,
Yeah.
we were allowed to go extra time. Well, Loudwire, Loudwire.com has their list of the 10 best Metallica cover songs on the Blacklist tribute. And I wanted to read this to you so we can completely tear this apart, because it's, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and so do we. So, but I read this and I wanted to share the audacity of this with you, because, oh my God, this is a shitty top 10 list, in my opinion. Sorry, we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up, as a lot of good top 10 lists do. All right, so keep in mind, this is Loudwire.com's 10 best covers on the Blacklist. Number 10, Enter Sandman by Ghost.
Oh my God, that shouldn't even be on the list
no.
at all.
No, they didn't even pick the right. They didn't even. A lot of the ones on this list, they didn't even pick the best version of the song, which I don't know. I don't know about you, but as far as I'm concerned, Weezer did the best cover of Enter Sandman.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. This one technically doesn't count, because this is the only version. But number 9 was the Rodrigo y Gabriela instrumental cover of The Struggle Within. That was their number 9 one. I didn't hate this cover. Like I say, I'm not going to get into the detail we went into last week, but I didn't hate it. It was the only cover of The Struggle Within on it. I absolutely do not agree that it's in the top 10 of the best covers on the album, but it was an interesting take on it, because, like I say, it was all instrumental. So they even used instruments to do James's vocal part. So, like I say, it was an interesting take, but yeah, it was an interesting take. But the 9th best, no, I'm gonna say no. All right, number 8, they got
some of it. We may have benefited if like a lot of it was instrumental.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better if some of the versions didn't have vocals at all. So let's see. Number 8, they had The God That Failed by Idols. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even remember that one at this point. So, I disagree with this list in its entirety, but I don't even really remember what that one sounds like, because 53 songs in 4 hours.
Yeah.
At some point, like I know you did the same thing, but I was taking notes because some of these songs started to like blend together.
Mm-hmm,
so at this point, 2 weeks out from the Blacklist being released, I don't even remember what this song sounds like anymore. So I guess I'm just going to leave that as it is. Number 7, they had Volbeat's version of Don't Tread on Me. This was a good cover. I'm not a huge fan of Volbeat, but they did a good song. They did a good job covering the song. It was a pretty faithful cover. So
that one should have been higher. So
it definitely should have been higher than number 7. Number 6, I'm going to give a huge double middle finger no to, because they have Diet Sig's version of the Unforgiven. So there is no cover version of the Unforgiven on that Black album that should be anywhere near anyone's top 10 list, because all 6 of those cover versions of that song were fucking garbage.
So I think we talked about this, but I have yet to hear a version of that song that is worth checking out more than once.
Right. Yeah. No. So this one. So yeah, this one being number 6, absolutely fucking not. Number 5, they had Sam Fender's version of Sad But True. Again, I don't even remember what this one sounds like anymore. But they didn't even pick the best version. They didn't even pick the best cover off of the compilation. Let's see. Number 4, they had Goodnight Texas's cover of Wolf and Man. Number 3, they had Off, their version of Holier Than Thou, which is bullshit because everybody knows that Corey Taylor's version of Holier Than Thou was way fucking better than that. Number 2, they had Dave Gahan's version of Nothing Else Matters, which I think is bullshit because Miley Cyrus's version and even Chris Stapleton's version were better.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's my opinion. I don't know how you feel, but
well, no, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and then according to Loudwire.com, the best cover version of the entire 53 songs was Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit and their cover of "Sad But True."
I mean, we are taking this from a site that gives us our metal albums that 90% of them aren't metal. So,
yes, I mean, they didn't, like I said, they didn't even pick the best version of "Sad But True." White Reaper did the best fucking cover version of "Sad But True."
Yes, that was good. Yeah.
So I mean, like I say, this is an opinion piece, just like our review of the Black Album was. But you know, this being Metalheads Unite, being a heavy metal focused podcast, naturally we are going to have quite a few issues with this list. And I have, like I say, I had an issue with this list in its entirety. But to say that Jason Isbell's version of "Sad But True" is the best cover when it wasn't even the best cover wasn't even the best song, the best of the group of that song. Good God.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there to you because I knew you would probably, shake your head as much as I did when I first read it. So
yeah, if they're basing that off of a panel of people that work for them, they need to hire a new panel of people.
Yeah. Hey, there's a couple of guys on screen right now who would be more than happy to get paid to review heavy metal music for a living.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we got a weekly resume right here. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that was our opinion, and you're entitled to it. I can't remember that's somebody's tagline.
Yeah,
I don't want to. So I don't want to claim that as
like a wrestler. It was like a wrestler, right?
I think so. So yeah. I don't want to claim that as an original quote. I know it's somebody else's tagline. So, but whose tagline it is, it escapes me. I just want to give credit to that person. So that wasn't an original from me, but so yeah, that was all the current event stuff that I had.
I was actually looking that up
because yeah, I know I've heard it somewhere. I just can't remember who said it. I know somebody did. I know it was somebody famous that was like their tagline or their catchphrase or something. So it'll be interesting to see who it was. Were you able to find it?
No. Well, I mean, I'm like reading through it, so.
All right. Well, hell, go ahead and let's go ahead and do This Week in Metal History. I'll start that.
You could go back to my favorite was the Mike Pence one, where you're entitled to your opinion, but not your facts, not your own facts.
Oh God, yeah,
that was great.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Mike. Do you understand the words that are coming out of your own mouth? I mean, Jesus Christ.
But that was funny.
Oy. But again, not getting political. But Jesus Christ.
Right. But
somebody should have reviewed his copy. But All right. All right. All right, so we'll move on to This Week in Metal History. This Week in Metal History, my part anyway, is brought to you by This Day in Metal over on Twitter and on Facebook. as always, go give Metalhead Marv some love over there. Starting off with last Saturday's date, 9/25, September 25th, 2001, Saxon releases Killing Ground, Deicide releases In Torment in Hell, and Creator releases Violent Revolution. September 25th of 1990, Lethal releases their debut album Programmed, and Doro releases a self-titled album. September 25th, 1989, Candlemass releases Tales of Creation. September 25th, 1976, Black Sabbath releases Technical Ecstasy, which peaked at number 51 on the Billboard 200. September 25th, 2019, Jason Warbringer releases the single Firepower Kills. Yes. September 25th, 2009, Paradise Lost releases Faith Divides Us, Death Unites Us, which peaked at number 122 on the Billboard 200. And Immortal releases All Shall Fall, which peaked at number 162 on the Billboard 200. September 25th, 2015, Huntress releases Static, and Glory Hammer releases Space 1992, Rise of the Chaos Wizards. September 25th, 2020, Cataclysm releases Unconquered. Moving ahead to the 26th, September 26th, 1983, Motley Crue releases Shout at the Devil. September 26th, 1988, Running Wild releases Port Royal, and Pestilence releases their debut album Malleus Maleficarum. September 26, 1995, AC/DC releases Ballbreaker. 6 Feet Under releases their debut album Haunted. Chastain releases Sick Society, and Crematory releases Illusions. September 26th of 2000, Soulfly releases Primitive, which peaked at number 32 on the Billboard 200. Dismember releases Hate Campaign. Lamb of God releases New American Gospel, and Corrosion of Conformity releases America's Volume Dealer. September 26th of 2014, Evergrey releases Hymns for the Broken, and Decapitated releases Blood Mantra. September 26th of 2011, Night Rage releases Insidious. September 26, 1992, Crowbar releases their debut album Obedience Through Suffering. September 26, 2007, Nightwish releases Dark Passion Play, which peaked at number 84 on the Billboard 200. September 26, 2008, Holy Moses releases Agony of Death. September 26th of 2016, Metallica releases the single Moth into Flame. And September 26th of 2005, Volbeat releases their debut album The Strength, The Sound, The Songs. Moving ahead to the 27th, September 27, 2005, Gojira releases From Mars to Sirius. September 27, 2019, Opeth releases In Cauda Venenum. Steel Panther releases Heavy Metal Rules. Hell Yeah releases Welcome Home, which peaked at number 57 on the Billboard 200. And Acid Rain releases The Age of Entitlement. Moving ahead to... keeping with the 27th, sorry. 27th, 2011, Warbringer releases Worlds Torn Asunder. Machine Head releases Unto the Locust, which peaked at number 22 on the Billboard 200. Sebastian Bach releases Kicking and Screaming, which debuted at number 73 on the Billboard 200. Mastodon releases The Hunter, which peaked at number 10 on the Billboard 200. And Myrath releases Tales of the Sands. September 27th, 1994, Corrosion of Conformity releases Deliverance. And Slayer releases Divine Intervention, which peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200. September 27th, 2010, Halford releases Halford 4, Made of Metal. September 22nd, 2013, Aska releases Fire Eater. September 27th, 2004, Bloodbath releases Nightmares Made Flesh. And September 22nd, 2016, Eternal Champion releases their debut album, The Armor of Ire. Moving ahead to the 28th, September 28th of 1978, Black Sabbath releases Never Say Die, which peaked at number 69 on the Billboard 200. September 28th, 1988, Ozzy Osbourne releases No Rest for the Wicked. September 28th of 2004, Saxon releases Lionheart. Metal Church releases The Weight of the World. Wasp releases The Neon God Part 2, The Demise. Cradle of Filth releases Amphetamine, and 3 Inches of Blood releases Advance and Vanquish. September 28th, 1993, Gamma Ray releases Insanity and Genius. September 28th, 2007, Sodom releases The Final Sign of Evil. September 28th, 1985, Angel Witch releases Screamin' and Bleedin'. London releases their debut album, Nonstop Rock. September 28th, 1998, Hammerfall releases Legacy of Kings. September 28th, 1987, Sabotage releases Hall of the Mountain King, which is a badass album and song.
Yes, it is.
Guns N' Roses releases the single Welcome to the Jungle. September 28th, 2018, Dynasty releases Fire Sign. September 28th, 2010, Megadeth releases the single Sudden Death. And September 28th, 1983, Alice Cooper releases Dada. Moving ahead to the 29th, September 29th, 1986, Iron Maiden releases Somewhere in Time, which peaked at number 11 on the Billboard 200. September 29th, 1992, Alice in Chains releases Dirt. Stone Temple Pilots releases their debut album Core, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200, and Manowar releases The Triumph of Steel. September 29, 2003, Moonspell releases The Antidote, and Victory releases Instinct. September 29th, 2009, Hatebreed releases a self-titled album. September 29th of 2017, Jag Panzer releases The Deviant Child. Active Defiance releases Old Scars, New Wounds. Nocturnal Rites releases Phoenix, and Sifting releases Not From Here. September 29th of 2008, Bloodbath releases The Fathomless Mastery, and Enslaved releases Vertebrae. September 29th, 1995, Cathedral releases The Carnival Bazaar. September 29th, 1987, Warlock releases their final studio album, Triumph and Agony. And September 29th of 1972, Black Sabbath releases the single Tomorrow's Dream. Moving ahead to the 30th, September 30th, 1997, Overkill releases From the Underground and Below. September 30th, 2015, UDO releases Mission Number 10. September 30th, 2014, Electric Wizard releases Time to Die. September 30th of 2013, Fate's Warning releases Darkness in a Different Light, and Soulfly releases Savages. September 30th, 1988, Forbidden releases their debut album Forbidden Evil. September 30th, 1994, Testament releases Low. September 30th, 1996, King Diamond releases The Graveyard, which peaked at number 23 on the Finnish charts. September 30th, 2008, Amon Amarth releases Twilight of the Thunder God. September 30th, 1985, Yngwie Malmsteen releases Marching Out. September 30th, 1984, Metallica releases the single Fade to Black. September 30th, 2016, Opeth releases Sorceress, which peaked at number 24 on the Billboard 200, and Suicidal Tendencies releases World Gone Mad. Moving ahead to October 1st, 1990, Iron Maiden releases No Prayer for the Dying, and Sodom releases Better Off Dead. October 1st, 1987, The Great Cat releases her debut album, Worship Me or Die. September 1st, 2010, Gravedigger releases The Clans Will Rise Again. Not the Klan, but The Clans Will Rise Again. Not September. October 1st, 1988, Omen releases Escape to Nowhere. October 1st, 1994, Accept releases Death Row, and Edge of Sanity releases Purgatory Afterglow. October 1st, 1984, Bathory releases their self-titled debut album. October 1st, 1993, Marduk releases Those of the Unlight, and Unleashed releases Across the Open Sea. October 1st, 1992, Holy Moses releases Reborn Dogs. October 1st, 1997, Orange Goblin releases their debut album, Frequencies from Planet 10. October 1st, 2013, Scar the Martyr releases their self-titled debut album. October 1st, 1986, Steeler releases Strike Back. And October 1st, 1991, Confessor releases their debut album, Condemned. Moving ahead to today's date, October 2nd, 1982, Accept releases Restless and Wild. And if anything else comes across after the show from October 2nd, naturally I will lead off next week's segment with that. But those are the historical releases from September 25th through October 2nd.
Man, that may be some of the best releases that I think you've read off so far. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a hell of a list. And it almost seems like as the year has gone on, it's like the later we've gotten in the year, the longer the list gets. I think a lot of these bands decided that, as the weather gets colder, it's like the best time to release new music. I don't know if there's any correlation to that, but it's kind of,
well, it's probably
it just seems like it.
It's probably because it was recorded during the winter of the year before,
and then they tour during the summer and all that other stuff. So
that's probably.
So so there may be something to that. I don't know. May just be a coincidence.
Yeah, never know. We'll get somebody. We'll get an interview on the show when they will ask somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. September 26th, 1981, Bruce Dickerson joined the band Iron Maiden. Dickerson had been the vocalist with Samson up until that point. So the first sighting of Bruce Dickerson and
Yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, he probably should have stayed with Samson. I don't think Iron Maiden's going to make it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't think he made the right decision. Yeah.
Oh man. September 26, 1995, AC/DC released Bob, which you mentioned. That was their 12th international studio album. The album, which was produced by Rick Rubin, featured the return of former drummer Phil Rudd, who had been fired from the band in '83 as a result of drinking and drug problems and a fight with founding rhythm guitarist Malcolm Young. September 26th. Yeah, I think Phil's been in and out of that band more than uh,
Yeah, he has.
Kiss has had farewell tours,
Well, I don't know about that.
It's close.
It's close. Yeah.
September 26th, 2003, a report published on request by artists to venues of their backstage requirements was revealed. Limp Bizkit insisted that all the lamps in their rooms be dimmable. Van Halen insisted that backstage celery is trimmed and not peeled. What? Uh, the Red Hot Chili Peppers asked for meditation rooms and a selection of aromatherapy candles. I'm guessing they were of the marijuana scent. I'm not sure, but
I have a hunch. Yeah.
yeah, just going out on a limb. September 27, 1986, which is a day that me and you both will probably would love to forget. But Metallica
Yep.
bass player Cliff Burton was crushed to death after the band's tour bus crashed between Stockholm and Copenhagen during a European
Yep.
tour. Members from the band drew cars for the most comfortable bunk on the tour bus. Burton won the game with an ace of spades and was asleep when the tour bus ran over a patch of black ice and skidded off the road. He was thrown through the window of the bus, and then the bus fell on top of him.
Yep.
So, like I said, it was man, it's like such a horrible accident,
Mm-hmm.
and man, like
Yeah.
we always talk about this, and I would just for would love to see the direction that band would have went if that had not happened. Uh,
Yeah. I guarantee you that band wouldn't have taken the exact trajectory that they did take. I guarantee you there's
yeah,
certain
I don't think so
projects, there's certain projects that Metallica put out that wouldn't have been put out had Cliff Burton survived. And you know, during the behind the music episode, I know you saw it, but I don't know how many people out there didn't get a chance to see it. But if you haven't, during the interview, they talked about, Lars basically said, as far as they know, that when the accident happened, Cliff never woke up. And I kind of hope that's the case,
right.
because if you got to go out, something like that's beyond your control. Hopefully he went out and never woke up. So hopefully he didn't feel any pain. Cause I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
He got chucked out the window and then God knows how far he was thrown from the bus or how far down the road he rolled until the bus landed on top of him. So if that's true that he didn't wake up, then that's what I hope happened for
right.
Cliff's sake.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't have been doing the compilation that we were talking about the last 2 weeks. So,
Hell no.
Anyway, September 27th in 2008, Metallica started a three-week run at number one on the U.S. album charts with Death Magnetic, the band's ninth studio album. September 28th, 1991, Guns N' Roses released two albums, Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, which debuted at number 1 and number 2 on the UK album charts, and both albums made number 1 and number 2 in the US as well. September 28th, 2019, Metallica canceled their forthcoming tour to allow frontman James Hetfield to enter rehab. In a statement, band members Kirk Hammett and Robert Trujillo said, as most of you probably know, our brother James has been struggling with addiction on and off for many years. He has now unfortunately had to re-enter a treatment program to work on his recovery again. In a separate statement, Metallica pledged to refund all tickets sold for their worldwide tour, which was scheduled to begin on the 17th of October in Australia. Um, Luckily, we got to see that tour before that happened. So,
Yep. Yes, we did.
September 30th, 1974, police were called to a Leonard Skinner and Blue Oyster Cult concert after a fight broke out between two sound engineers. The Skinner roadie claimed that the sound had been deliberately turned off during the band's set. I thought that was pretty wild. You always hear about stuff, but you never hear about the roadies actually fighting.
Right.
That's pretty wild. Uh, October 1st, 1966, Jimi Hendrix appeared live for the first time in the UK when he jammed Cream at their gig at London Polytechnic. Hendrix made his official UK live debut a month later on Friday the 25th um, of November 1966 when the Jimi Hendrix Experience appeared at the Bag o' Nails Club in London. October 1st, 1988, Bon Jovi scored their first UK #1 album with New Jersey, their fourth release. Their follow-up to Slippery When Wet produced 5 Billboard Hot 100 top 10 singles, the most top 10 hits to date for a hard rock album. Bad Medicine and I'll Be There For You both hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. October 1st, 2004, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne officially opened AC/DC Lane after the veteran rockers. The Lord Mayor erected the sign to cheers and bagpipes playing in the band's song Long Way to the Top. The city of Melbourne had extra copies of the sign made, just in anticipation of fans stealing them. Yeah, that's pretty smart, I guess.
Yeah, I hope they had enough copies made to where they can still replace them, because I guarantee you that sign is probably still being stolen today.
Yeah,
I guarantee you it's still being stolen.
October 2nd, 2012, British session guitarist Big Jim Sullivan, born James George Tompkins, died at the age of 71. Sullivan started his career in 1959 as a member of Marty Wild's band, and when Wild bought Sullivan a Gibson Les Paul guitar, it was allegedly the first in Britain. Sullivan taught future Deep Purple guitarist Richie Blackmore to play guitar, as well as helping Yes and Asia guitarist Steve Howe on his road to success. He's featured on 55 #1 hits and worked on those with George Harrison, Frank Zappa, Thunderclap Newman, Love Affair, Long John Baldry, Marmalade, and the Tremolos. During Jimmy Page's session career, he was known as Little Jim to differentiate him from Big Jim. That's pretty cool. Little Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that's where those jokes originate from.
Probably.
Oh, wow. And that was all of the history news that I had there. A lot of Metallica in there.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong. You know, aside from the Cliff Burton thing, obviously, there's nothing wrong with a lot of Metallica news. You know.
All right, well, let's get into our top 10 of the week.
Yes.
Double feature this week.
That's right.
We decided we were going to do top 10 Heaven and Hell. So.
Yep, Heaven and Hell. Yep, the eternal struggle.
Yeah, struggle within.
That's right.
I'll kick off the Heaven side if you want me to, and then.
All right. Cool.
I had let me make sure that one, 2, 3. Okay, sorry, it did look like 10 for a minute. I was like, wow. that would not be like me to be less than 10.
Yeah, I know.
I'm usually the guy who goes
over. We usually have a hard time like condensing it to 10.
Yeah. So my top 10, I started out with Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven from Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 1, 2013. I had Warrant Heaven from Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich in 1989. I had Alice in Chains, Heaven Beside You from Alice in Chains, 1995. I had Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven from Avenged Sevenfold in 2007. I had Docket in Heaven Sent from Back for the Attack in 1987.
Nice.
I had Lacuna Coil, Heaven's a Lie from Kamala's 2002. I had White Zombie, Supercharger Heaven from Astro Creek 2000, and then that rest of that long ass name, but 1995. Yeah, I just always say Astro Creek 2000 because everybody knows what you're talking about.
That's what I always call that album too. Same thing.
Yeah. Iron Maiden, Judgment of Heaven from the X Factor of 1995. And then I had Kiss Heavens on Fire from Animalize in 1984. And then I had Wasp Heavens Hung in Black from Dominator in 2007.
Nice.
That was my top 10 Heaven list.
All right. Yeah, we had 4 doubles on that one.
Oh wow.
that actually doesn't surprise me too much.
Yeah, no, Heaven's a little harder than the Hell for some reason, but
yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, who knows why? I don't know why. All right, so so here's my top 10 Heaven related songs. Leading off, I had Angel of Death from Slayer, the 1986 Rain and Blood album. I also had Heaven by Warrant off of Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich from 1989. I had Send Me an Angel by the Scorpions off of Crazy World from 1990. I've had this one on a previous list, but I don't care because I like the song that much. I had Bloody Angel by Avatar from Hail the Apocalypse from 2014. I had Burning Angel by Arch Enemy off of 2001's Wages of Sin. I had South of Heaven by Slayer off the South of Heaven album from 1988. Then I had Fly to the Angels by Slaughter off of 1990's Stick It To Ya. So yeah, I have some power ballads on here. Whatever. And then got to have a little something for the ladies every now and then.
That's right.
Even heavy metal bands knew that. Then I had Heavens on. Then I also had Heavens on Fire from Kiss, the 1984 Animalize albums. I'm not a huge Kiss fan, but that's one of the ones that I do like. So that one actually kind of fit in this go around. Then I also had Heavens Alive by Lacuna Coil off of Comalies from 2002. And I had A Little Piece of Heaven from Avenged Sevenfold's self-titled album from 2007. That song I still chuckle at that song, A Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah.
It still makes me chuckle right now, even all these years later. So yeah, we had some overlaps, but still, we had 14 out of 20 that didn't, so that's not bad.
Yeah. There you go.
Or 16 out of 20. I'm sorry if I can do my math right. We had 16 out of 20 that didn't double up. So, all right, I will go ahead. I'll continue on, and I will do.
Okay.
I'll do my top 10 songs related to hell. Leading off, I had "Shout at the Devil" by Motley Crue off the Shout at the Devil album from 1983. I had Burn in Hell by Judas Priest off the 1997 Jugulator album. I had Cowboys from Hell by Pantera off the 1990 Cowboys from Hell album. I had Highway to Hell by AC/DC off the 1979 Highway to Hell album. I had Along Came the Devil by Primal Fear from Metal Commando from just last year in 2020. Then I had Devil Dogs by Seton off of The Great War from 2019. That one is kind of dedicated to my wife, who was a former active duty Marine. So Marines are also referred to as devil dogs. So that one's got like 2 meanings for me, one relating to the topic and one as a tribute to my wife. Then I had Devil's Son by Devil Driver off their 2003 self-titled debut album. I had The Devil and I by Slipknot off of Point 5, The Great Chapter from 2014. The Hell Awaits by Slayer off the Hell Awaits album from 1985. And then I had Walk With Me in Hell by Lamb of God off of As the Palaces Burn from 2008. So that was my top 10 hell-related songs. How many duplicates do we have? How many?
Only 3. Only 3, yeah.
Wow, okay. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be a
okay, cool.
pretty decent playlist.
So. Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time when I was writing this, but I did not mean to have so many title tracks. I had Shout at the I had 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I had 4. It wasn't as many as I initially thought, but I was reading the list. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of title tracks, but I didn't even do that on purpose. But all right.
Well, I had my 10 hell related songs here. I had Hell Yeah. Of course, you could probably just pick anything from them, but I picked Oh My God just because of the double standard. But
got it. Yeah.
Then I actually took AC/DC's Hell's Bells.
I was going back and forth on that.
I know you did Highway to Hell, so that was kind of a good thing because I mean, eight of the 10 songs could have been AC, and honestly, Hell ain't a bad place
They
to
could have,
be.
yeah.
I mean, they definitely got a lot
Hmm.
of Hell songs.
Yeah, could have been.
Uh, but I also had Lamb of God Walk with Me in Hell from Sacrament 2006. Um, I also had Judas Priest Burn in Hell from Regulator 97, which is not
Such
going
an
to be
underrated album, for Christ's sake, man.
which won't be on the playlist because you can't find it on any of my streaming apps for some reason. I don't know why they dislike the Tim Ripper Owens era of Judas
Yeah,
Priest, but whatever.
I don't know, but it's
I
an
don't get it.
underrated album, and it should be available.
I agree. Luckily, I have it on CD, but it doesn't have
Yeah,
much.
right.
Then my next one was Ozzy Hellraiser from No More Tears
Nice.
1991. Then I had Disturbed Hell from The Lost Children in 2005.
Oh,
I had
all right.
Motorhead Born to Raise Hell from Bastards in 1993. I had
Nice.
Machine Head I Am Hell Sonata in C minor to the Locust from
Mm-hmm.
2011. I also had Pantera Cowboys from Cowboys from Hell in 1990. Then I had Megadeth Go to Hell from the Hidden Treasures album in 1995. To
Nice.
replace the Judas Priest that we're not going to be able to put on there, I kind of put a asterisk by one that I picked out to take the place of it was Metallica Hell and Back from the Beyond Magnetic EP in 2011. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so,
Nice.
not that we probably needed to fill in anything doing two sessions, but I mean, but it kind of like makes me mad that that's not available. I don't understand that. That's stupid to me. But
Well, neither one of the Owens era albums are
right,
available
are
from Judas
available. Yeah,
Priest, and that
I
doesn't
don't, I
and
don't,
that makes
I don't. No freaking sense
it doesn't
whatsoever.
make any sense. Doesn't
But
make
what
any
do we
sense.
know? Uh,
Yeah, they definitely didn't ask us, did they?
no, they did not. Uh,
No.
do we want to give away next week's, or do we want to wait?
No. Mm-mm.
You know, so
No
we
way.
like to keep them in suspense. So.
That's right. Yeah, we're not giving away next week's theme.
No
No way.
giveaways.
Nope.
All right, so I guess we need to kick over into the album reviews. I know I only had the
Mm-hmm.
one, so I'll just go through mine real quick. I was
All
actually in
right.
the middle of listening to KK's Priest this morning, so I know you kind of listened to it already, so we can get your thoughts on it. And, uh, but
Yeah.
uh, but I checked out the album Duel Incarnate Persona. Duel is a band formed in 2016 in Austin, Texas. Current members are Sean Avant on bass and vocals, JD Shadows on drums, Derek Halfman guitars, and then Tom Frank on guitar and vocals. They're a psychedelic doom stoner. It says stoner metal rock band, which I've never heard of stoner metal, but okay. But
Yeah.
it kind of made sense once I seen that and I listened to the album. But this is their fourth full length album though, so they stay pretty busy. You know, 2016 to 2021, they already got four albums. So
Damn,
it was,
that is
yeah,
busy.
it was really like too old school for me. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but it was too much of a. It was not like old school was like we consider old school, but it was more older school than that. So it was more like a late '60s, early '70s type vibe. Um, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the greatest I've ever heard either. Don't get me wrong, but it was definitely I don't know. I want to say they're definitely in the wrong generation, I believe, but they should have been born, 40 years ago. But
Yeah.
it's definitely different. I will say that. And like I said, I may go back and try to get back into it just to see if it kind of grows on me. Um, but like I said, it wasn't like terrible. It wasn't. If like one of the songs came on, I wouldn't be like rushing to cut off. I'd just let it play through. But it wasn't something I would go and look forward and play. I guess I could say it that way. But
Yeah.
with that being said, I just wanted to keep it kind of down the middle, 2.5 horns. Like I said, everybody out there is welcome to go check it out and see what they think. like I said, it was just too. I don't know, man. It was just kind of. It was really kind of weird, I guess. It kind of had like some dark, eerie, uh, 60s. Even the recording sounds of it sounded, really Doorsy and or Black Sabbath,
Mm-hmm.
kind of.
So
Nothing
basically,
wrong
it
with.
was so basically it was more early hard rock than anything. It
Yeah,
sounds like.
probably so. Yeah, yeah. It was definitely more along that lines than anything
Yeah.
else.
Okay. I gotcha.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember which one I told you I was going to listen to. Let me look that up real quick because I can't remember
Oh
which
shit, I
one it
can't
was.
remember which one you said you were gonna
Uh,
listen to. I'd have to look back at our text message thread. I can't remember.
I got it right here. So, um, Blood Red Throne. That's what I was going to listen
Oh
to.
yeah, yeah,
But evidently that got pushed back again because it's not. It wasn't. I couldn't find it anywhere.
yeah. It may have been.
So it looks like it may have got pushed back. There's a couple of singles on there I listened to
Yeah,
from them that wasn't too bad, but I couldn't
yeah.
really like say about a whole album if not listen to the whole album.
Yeah. Well, I do know that if the Blood Red Throne album, if they pushed it back to next week, it's probably going to get pushed to the back burner because of two of the releases we got coming out next week. But we'll
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a minute. But next Friday, there's some new releases coming out that you and I are both gonna focus on that are gonna
oh
push
yeah,
that one way back on the back burner.
yep.
All right. I did listen to KK's Priest. We'll get to that in just a second. We'll talk about what we both thought of that one here in a minute. I only got to listen to one other one other than the KK's Priest. The album that I went with Force of Danger by Kryptos. Kryptos is actually a thrash metal band formed in Bangalore, India, of all places, in 1998. The lyrical themes include mythology, the occult, science fiction, and the paranormal. You've got Ganesh K on bass and vocals. You have Nolan Lewis on guitars and vocals, because when I think of India, I think of Nolan Lewis. Um, you've got Rohit Chaturvedi on lead guitar, and you got Vijit Singh on drums. This is actually their sixth studio album. Their debut studio album, Spiral Ascent, came out in 2004. The Arc of Gemini came out in 2008. The Coils of Apollyon in 2012, Burn Up the Night in 2016, Afterburner in 2019, and Force of Danger came out yesterday. This is 8 tracks in length. It's 35 minutes and 34 seconds. It's a nice, quick listen. Track 1, Raging Steel at 350. Track 2, Hot Wired at 303. Track 3, Dawnbreakers at 414. Track 4, Thunderchild at 425. Track 5, Nighthawk at 413. Track 6, Omega Point at 621. Track 7, the title track, Force of Danger at 448. And track 8, Shadowmancer at 440. As you can kind of guess by the track titles that I just listed, these guys they've got a throwback sound in overall sound and also in overall recording mix. I thought the mix was pretty flat throughout the entire album. So the audio quality wasn't as good as it could have been, considering that it's 2021. It wasn't Saint Anger bad, don't get me wrong, but it was just it was just flat. It could have been a little bit more crisp. The songs overall, I hate to put it this way because I can't even play an instrument, so I hate putting it this way, but the songs were pretty basic in their construction. The drum lines were pretty basic. The guitar riffs were pretty basic. There wasn't anything super intricate in the guitar solos. It was a pretty formulaic metal album. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I did like it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 overall. Like I said, it was a short listen, so I was almost able to get through the whole thing on the ride into work. So it's a pretty quick album to get through. They, even though this is their 6th album, I haven't heard the other 5. I think this is a pretty good direction for them to keep heading. If they can get some better production value, I think it might help. I think based on just this one album, I think maybe they could make it a. I mean, I don't know how popular they are worldwide. They may be huge in India. I don't really know. But I think they could make more of a name for themselves if they maybe took a little bit more of a risk musically and tried to do something maybe a little faster, a little more intricate, maybe a little more diverse. Because a lot of the songs kind of did sound the same. Like I say, they were put together well, but kind of basic, kind of safe. Ganesh K, his vocals, he did sound like Steve Zetro Souza, early Exodus. So it had that vibe to it. So that's definitely not a bad thing, having an Exodus kind of influence. But there were a lot of different bands that I heard influences from, Exodus being one. I would say Accept is probably another one, maybe a little bit of AC/DC. So yeah, they have some good influence to draw upon, and I think, like I say, they're headed in the right direction, even though they are 6 albums into their career. So, yeah, this is a band I would definitely like to hear from again. We actually did post the music video of the title track "Force of Danger" in the Metalheads Unite Facebook group. I actually remembered that as soon as I heard it. I was like, oh, okay, because that the band Kryptos is like, I don't know why this band name sounds familiar, but then when I got to that 7th track and I heard the song, I was like, oh shit, that's right, that's who these guys are. So I have heard the title track before, and the music video for it we did post. If you guys want to check that out, but if not, you can find the album to download it and check it out yourself. So that was the one album that I did listen to in its entirety. I did get to listen to KK's Priest. I am actually on the last track on the album, but I haven't made it all the way through yet. So I am actually on Return of the Sentinel right now, which is the last song on the album. It's 9 minutes and 13 seconds long, I think. So I don't know how far into it you got, Jason, but
I'm only 4 tracks in, so.
Okay, so you are on Sacerdote y Diablo. That's the song you would be on.
Right.
I actually really like the album in its entirety. I told you last night that it's kind of a no-brainer combination of Iced Earth and Judas Priest, and I mean that in a good way, because Iced Earth, that's one of the many bands that Tim Ripper Owens is sang for, and obviously KK Downing, he was in Judas Priest for a while. So it's it's a mashup of those two sounds in a very good way. The only song I don't really care for all that much is Brothers of the Road. It's kind of got the chorus is a little cringy and cheesy for me, which, I mean, I actually really don't mind, cheesy lyrics all too much, but this one just kind of comes off a little bit extra cheese to me. Plus, the very
cheese.
first track, extra cheese, yeah. The very first track, Incarnation, is one of those minute-long introductions that I could have done without. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 out of 5 on in its entirety. There's really good. I mean, Hellfire Thunderbolt and Sermons of the Sinner, there were music videos for both of those songs, and I believe we posted both of those to the Metalheads Unite Facebook page, along with Brothers of the Road. So, I mean, those were the 3 singles that came out ahead of the album being released. But I tell you one thing, there has not been a project that Tim Ripper Owens has ever been in that I disliked, because, I mean, with the exception of being able to sing bass, I don't think there's a note that Tim Ripper Owens can't hit.
I would probably agree with that,
yeah. It's insane the range that man has. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts were of what you've heard so far.
Yeah, but so far I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, I'm with you on that. On the ones that I've already heard. The Brothers of the Road was kind of a generic type, song, and like you said, it was kind of real. I don't know. It almost reminded me of some '70s Priest in a way. Just all the way around. Which like I said, isn't always a bad thing, but
yeah. Like I said, but I mean, it doesn't always work either. So
yeah, it doesn't, and like I said,
I mean,
you only got if you get, I can't remember how many tracks is on this album, but
there's 10.
10. So I mean, if you got 1 out of 10, that's not 90%.
Oh yeah, 90% success rate. You'll take that every time. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, all day, every day.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the we're brothers of the road and we rock. That part of the chorus. It's just like, oh, come on. It's just, it just comes off as cringe, man. It's just like, oh. It's like, but again, it's like, okay, you get a pass on that one. You get a pass on that one. But
like you said earlier, we can't play anything, so we can't.
Right. Yeah.
But those that can't play criticize. That's what we do. So.
That's right. But hey, we give a hell of a lot more credit than we do criticism. That's for sure. At least I think we do.
Yeah. But so I dropped the link for the new Spotify playlist over in the chat area there for anybody that wants to check that out over on Spotify. You can do so there. Like I said, that's the one that we do every Thursday. And if you want to check out the other ones, you can just look up Metalheads Unite. All of our Metalheads Unite presents are the ones from the top 10 list that we do, and then just the regular Metalheads playlists are the ones that we do every Thursday. So just trying to keep all the content there.
Yeah. This past Thursday's playlist, the one you just posted, is a rager. And then we'll have the Heaven and Hell one up either later today or tomorrow at some point. So that one will be up. And then I know we've talked about it before. I don't want to jump ahead too much because I know I got to do next week's releases. But I am going to try to work on, because we mentioned it before, I'm going to try to work on getting the Metalheads Unite email address up by the end of the weekend. I'm going to try to get that up and running. I took a look at starting on that this morning, so I'm hoping to have that done by the end of the weekend. So we'll pass that along to you guys whenever that's up. So keep an eye out for that. And then without further ado, I actually will read the upcoming new releases for October 8th, which is next Friday. And leading off, we do have Blood Red Throne listed here. Imperial Congregation. Yeah, so Blood Red Throne with Imperial Congregation. We have Born with Hair with When the Witches Fall. We have Cannabis Corpse with Blunted at Birth. That's a re-release for them. We have Christian Death with The Dark Age of Renaissance. Collection Part 3, The Age of Decadence box set. We have Creeping Death with The Edge of Existence as an EP for them. We have Eclipsed with Wired. We have Gus G with Quantum Leap. We have Houston with 4. We have Jeff Scott Soto with the Duets Collection Volume 1. We have Kowloon Walled City with Piecework. We have Local H with Local H's Awesome Quarantine Mixtape number 3. And then one of the ones I'm looking forward to, we have Manimal with Armageddon. And then we have Nothing with the Great Dismal B-Sides. That's an EP for them. We have Roger Glover with Snapshot. That's a re-release. We have Shy Low with Snake Behind the Sun. We have Terra Maze with And the Beauty They Perceive. And then we probably have the main event for next week. We have Trivium with In the Court of the Dragon.
Yes.
Oh, so looking forward to that shit. If you guys haven't checked out the videos for the first 2 singles, the title track and then Phalanx, you guys are missing out. Then we have Untamed Land with Light Creatures Seeking Their Own Forms. And last but not least, we have Wayward Sons with Even Up the Score. So those are the new releases for next week, with Trivium and Manimal, as far as I'm concerned, being the headliners.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah. So all right.
But that'll round us out.
Look forward to that, and I'll try to check out that Blood Red Throne since I already had it queued up.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be listening to Manimal, and I got a lot of driving next week, so I'll be listening to pretty much a lot of stuff next week probably. Been at home for 2 weeks, so haven't been driving as much. Usually that's when I bet your car, a lot of my listening.
Yeah, I bet your car appreciates the break too, though.
Oh, I'm sure it does. It's like pushing 300,000 miles. I'm sure it takes any break it wants to. But All right. With that being said, I guess we can close this bad boy out for this week.
Yep, that'll put a bow on it.
Yeah, put a bow on it, stamp it, send it away.
Yeah,
So, I just want
that's
to
right.
thank everybody for joining us today. And if you didn't get to, hopefully you'll check out the. Sorry, I got a text message. Hopefully y'all check out the. When it gets published, I'll check it out that way. So, damn it. Phone's acting stupid. Sorry. He's flashing at me. There's nothing there. I'm like, what is it flashing at me for? Um, but okay. So anyway, just want to thank everybody for stopping in and spending your morning, afternoon, day, whatever with us.
Yep.
Hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we enjoy doing it.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we'll get those playlists put together for you guys if you want to check those out. And like I said, there's a link in there for the last week's. I think we're probably just going to carry it out to the end of the year. Then I'll start going back and deleting some and redoing it after the first year. So
yeah. So there's not a lot. There's not a like a log jam.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to do like maybe 8 to 10, and then go back and start redoing from one. You know, start back over. By the time I get back to 8, then it's all fresh again. But
yeah,
just try to give everybody a chance to listen. Maybe there's some stuff on there they haven't heard before, or maybe there's some of their favorite stuff on there. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I know I'll still go back and listen to the first couple that I posted on every once in a while, just to have something different to listen to. So, I know it gets kind of repetitive on when you're just letting stuff play. Like even if you go on like the radios, you get Machine Head Radio, where they'll play like Kill Switch, and then if you go on Kill Switch Radio, they play Machine Head. So
right, yeah,
it kind of gets repetitive, the same as not as bad as listening to the actual FM radio, but it still.
Oh no, over the air radio is so much worse. Yeah, you're right. If you can even find Machine Head and Kill Switch Engage on over the air radio.
Probably not anywhere in our area, that's for sure.
No, not around here. Yeah. So we gotta rely on apps and stuff for that. So it is what it is. But if we wanted to listen to what do you call it, like 21 Pilots, and if we want to listen to Radiohead, and if we wanted to listen to Imagine Dragons, the 1029 The Buzz version of heavy metal, then they got us covered. But we're gonna take a hard pass on that, So.
But they're everything Dragons. That rocks.
Oh God. This is another 2-hour block we could start right now, just ranting about 1029 Buzz, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to ruin everybody else's Saturday.
You already gave them more publicity than they deserve. So
absolutely, yeah. I guess, I opened up that can of worms. I shouldn't have done that. That's my bad. But thanks everybody for stopping by. As always, if you want to check us out at the Metalheads Unite Facebook page, come on over and send us a member request. We'll get you guys hooked up, and we keep the content as fresh as we can, considering that Jason and I both have day jobs for right now. So we do our best, but everyone is every member who is in the group is able to keep the content as fresh as they want. Whether it be new releases or old favorites is totally fine.
Or personal bands, whatever.
Or personal bands. Yeah, we got a lot of people who promote their own stuff, which is totally fine as long as they don't inundate the group with it. So, but we'll be around. But thanks everybody for checking us out live. Thanks everybody for checking us out on the broadcast, if that's how you choose to do it. But until next week, like I say, I'm Chris and that's Jason, and we are Metalheads Unite.
You guys, we'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep those double horns held high and then jump in that pit anytime you can. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Nice. Dan, go take a nap.
Yeah, right. He might be
off the air. Go to sleep.
He might be in a sleep coma.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Get you in a coma before you have to go to the airport. Yeah, Jason, you probably got to head back out to the garage, don't you?
Yeah, here in a few minutes. So.
Yeah. I'm surprised Susie didn't come in and grab you by the ear and be like, "Get the fuck back out here."
Well, at least my daughter's out there too, so they got there's 2 or 3 of
Oh
them.
well, okay, yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah.
Of course, Shelly stayed the night here too, so she's out there. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So you got it staffed relatively well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. How long are you guys running that thing to today?